there we go.
Yep.
Wow. So who is Kenneth Robert Benson?
He was a friend of one of our members.
Uh-huh.
And he had no family.
Yeah.
And when he was quite a shrewd businessman. And when he passed away, he gave a donation to the museum.
Oh.
So we thought it only fair that we that we honor him with his picture.
Yeah.
And we'll go into this room.
Okay.
We've converted this room sort of, it's affectionately called the war room.
Uh-huh.
We've got a few more mannequins upstairs that need a bit of repair. The Legion, when they closed out in town here, they basically ran out of members. They could not afford to keep going.
Yeah.
So they donated a lot of stuff. So we settled down one day and we put it all out.
Yeah.
And you can see by the arch on that wall,
Mm-hmm.
that's where, and if you can see them outside, the doors are still there. That was the double doors where they pulled the water wagon out.
Oh.
It was pulled
Because
by,
this was the fire hall,
this
right?
was the fire hall.
Right. Wow.
And there was eventually, they added on to that end.
Yeah.
And moved the town hall in.
Wow.
So it did double duty.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere here, I'm not exactly sure where anymore, but there was the pole where the fire, they sort of an apartment upstairs, eh?
Okay.
So some of them were here all the time.
Yeah. Wow.
But they could dress, and then that's literally, they slid down the pole and hopped and grabbed their wagon and out the door. Yes.
Blacksmith corner. What? I'm just looking at this here. What is this instrument for?
This thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's a chain brake.
A chain brake.
You know the chains that hook together like this on machinery?
Yeah. Do you mind if I photograph you?
Oh, no, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
If I don't scare you too badly.
No. Okay, Laura. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just easier when you're showing things.
Yes, I'm going to have to bring a chain in because everybody says, what is this? So I have to explain the chain before the chains that hook together like this.
Yeah.
And they ran on the cogs.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they break. Well, how do you get them apart?
Right.
So you'd set it like this. You'd put the chain in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd take a hammer and you'd hit to get it apart.
Oh, okay.
And then when you wanted them back together, you took this side, you lined them up. Actually, you lined them up on some, and you whacked it a few times and put them back together. It's quite heavy if you want to lift it.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't mess with anybody holding that one.
No.
There's quite a few interesting tools here that a lot of people have never seen.
Yeah.
This is just a fancy wrench.
Nice. I love tools.
Oh, me too. My dad was more of a carpenter than a mechanic, but he had his share.
Yeah.
Of course, he worked on buggies and old binders. And
wow.
I said, so we painted them and we figured we'll put them here and people can at least see them. And everybody says, oh, what is that? What is that? Well, most of it I know what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Some I make a very educated guess.
Well, that one I have never seen before, the chain
brake.
Chain brake. Yeah.
And this thing, of course.
Yeah, for punching holes.
That's the hole punch.
Yeah.
I forget what the heck this weird creature was. I think that was basically the same thing, I believe.
Yeah, just from a different angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Husband and I, we come in here and we look at things every now and again and try to decide what is who.
And I remember these horrible things.
Yes.
For
bugs.
Bugs, yeah.
My mother was a brave person. She didn't believe in spraying her garden.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we'd have potato bugs, she'd go out with a little tin can and she'd pick them off.
Oh, yeah.
And then she'd go and feed them to the chickens.
Good thing to do. That's a good thing to do. Whoa. Oh, this little machine here.
That is a kind of like almost like a mini combine.
Okay.
If you wanted to do a small sample.
Yeah. Just separating the
separate
chaff
the
from
chaff
the...
and whatnot to see
Yeah.
how your grain was doing.
Yeah.
And you'd haul an
That's
armload
it, eh?
home and you'd shove it through there and
Nice.
and
Yeah.
then you'd see what it would look like.
Yeah. And those are milk
Yeah, usually
or
cream cans.
cream
Yeah.
cans. Yeah. Those I'm familiar with. Yeah.
Yes. They were usually bigger, but then
Yeah.
these were for, sometimes they'd have specialty cream
Yeah.
where you'd separate it. If it sat for a while, it got thicker and
Yeah.
fat content went up and they
Yeah.
paid you more.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All these brave fellows.
Yes. And what's really strange is I'm working in this war room with World War I and II items.
Mm-hmm.
They're all Canadian soldiers, all Wilkie soldiers.
Oh.
And my dad himself was a German immigrant.
Oh yeah.
And he served in the First World War.
Mm-hmm.
And he was drafted at the age of 18.
Yeah.
And I said drafted, there was no, see, come sign up. It was you
Yeah.
on the wagon.
Yeah.
And he spent all 4 years on the front line.
Oh my gosh.
And what possessed him, I don't know. He had trained as a bricklayer. And so he bought himself a Brownie camera.
Oh
And
yes.
he hauled that with him, and then he'd mail the film home to his parents.
Oh my gosh.
And they printed out for him, and they put it in an album form.
Mm-hmm.
I have the album.
That is a treasure.
That thing is over 100 years old too. I guard it with my life.
Oh my gosh, I guess. Yeah.
And he was, well, these are 18. He ended up down on the Turkish border when the war ended.
Oh yeah.
They went right across. And when it come time to move their guns through the Alps, horses were in short supply. They didn't want to give them horses because they might eat them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah.
to get the guns over the mountains, they had to push and pull.
Right.
And so they ended up way down there, and the guy said, war's over, go home.
Oh yeah.
So they walked home.
Some ordnance there.
Oh, yes.
And yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, there are not a lot left.
No. When, I think it was 2018, 18, the 100-year anniversary of the First World War. And they had, going across Canada, it was called the 100 Bells for Freedom.
Oh.
And they'd start in the east,
Mm-hmm.
and then different towns along the way, at certain times of the day, they'd ring a bell 100 times. Our steeple bell was one of them.
Oh,
We were so honored.
Yeah. Yeah. And this uniform,
Should say who it was, but it may not.
there's a little tag down here at the...
L. Benson donated the belt. So I'm assuming the rest of the uniform would have been theirs as well.
Mm-hmm. Royal Canadian Air Force.
Yes. This year was some sort of anniversary for the Air Force as well. One of our members is a Legion member.
Uh-huh.
And he brings me up to speed on all of this. But of course,
yeah.
he tells me so much in such a short time. And his brain just can't keep up.
Yeah. Wow. And what do we have over here? Remembrance Day. Yeah.
1981? Yeah, 1981 up in the corner. Even our displays are old.
Yeah.
I mean, which is what they're supposed to be.
Yeah. I was in the Lloydminster one yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's one I haven't been through. I've been through a lot of other local museums,
Yeah.
and I haven't been to Lloydminster yet.
I'm going down to Kindersley in a few days to the Kindersley Plains Museum.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I mean, because this is the rainy month.
Yes, seriously.
I know. So I'm basically doing mainly museums because then I can record inside.
Everybody has a fit when they see these and they're like,
oh,
how do you use that?
I remember Gestetner's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember these too.
I'm not talking to you right now. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
I remember these.
Yeah.
For accounting.
I worked in a bank for a number of years, starting in 75. And we still had not with the drawer, but the adding machine.
Yep.
The guy got pretty good on those.
Yeah. Wow. The old Gestetner.
Actually, we got two of them.
Ah.
There's another one sitting here somewhere.
The small towns have amazing museums.
Yes. I have a small business. I clean air filters for tractors, combines.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
And I used to tour around more. I'm not talking to you. Go away. And, so when in summer, Phil would come with me, eh?
Yeah.
Son. And we're already involved with this, so let's check out the little museums.
Yeah.
So we did Doddsland, and we did Plenty, we did Denzel.
Yeah.
Denzel's a cute one.
Is it? Yeah.
And they took over, when the elementary school closed, they took it over. So the whole school is a display.
Oh.
And the one in Doddsland is nice. It's an old store. And so it's really got the flavor.
Yeah.
Where else? Oh, we've been through Elrose. I am not.
Somebody really wants to talk to you.
I'm not talking to you. I'm turning my phone off. I don't care what you say.
So what is this model on top of the cabinet up here at the back there?
That's an airplane.
Oh, I see now.
Yes. We found it stuffed in a back. Okay, we actually lost one of our buildings this year. It was old and really decrepit, and we just couldn't keep up with the upkeep.
Yeah.
And the town said, what are you going to do with it? We says, we have no idea. We can't deal with this.
Yeah.
And so they came and they demolished it. And so we spent about a week getting stuff out. And we found that in a cabinet.
Wow, it's got all the markings on it and
yeah, I'm not
everything.
Sure. Maybe I can get in far enough to get her now. I could probably stand in this.
Be careful.
Notice.
Oh, goodness.
My husband got it up there. He is a little bit taller than I am.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. Come on now.
And I see a plane here. My dad had lots of woodworking tools too.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Oh gosh. So when would that model have been made? It looks like thick wood.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't got upstairs to look for the information on it. Because there's usually a sticker that has the date, year, and then another number that says who donated it.
Right.
But it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It obviously hung in somebody's bedroom for a while.
Yeah, my son works for the ANAF out in Sydney.
Oh, yes.
BC. Yeah. And they've got a real one outside. Yeah.
I know if we had a real one outside, we'd have half the town sitting in it.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
Even our furniture is basically
Yeah.
vintaged.
Yeah. And so, oh, gosh.
Everybody always says, well, didn't you have more stuff? I know we have more stuff, but there's only so much space.
Yeah.
So we kind of keep rotating.
Yep. Wow. All these cameras. That's nice. Eyeglasses. Oh, how things have changed.
Oh, yes. I'll have to see if I can find my dad's yet. He had one, his reading glasses had the, kind of like the ones at the back.
Okay.
Had the wire things.
Yeah.
The hook around your ears.
Yeah. Oh, and those
Yes.
the viewers, the stereoscopes.
Yeah,
I think they were called.
I think so.
Yeah. Somebody's little shoes.
Yeah. Little booties.
Yeah.
Had one lady come home or come through this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Her great grandfather had lived in here in town, and he'd been involved with the Masons.
Okay.
They were very secretive.
Yes.
weren't they? So we couldn't hardly find anything on him. She found an obituary of all things.
Oh.
But the rest of the family just kind of disappeared. But we did find out where he lived, and it was only 2 houses down the street. So I walked her down there, and she took a few pictures. Was she excited?
Oh, I'll bet. Goodness. I remember Carter's Gold ink.
Yes. Yeah. And there's that creature.
Yeah. Now what is this?
That's a rope twister.
Oh.
You'd put, you tie a strand on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, heavy as hell too. You tie the strand on, then you turn it,
Yeah.
and it would twist them. Give you a 4 or 5 strand rope, about this big.
Making your own rope.
Make your own ropes.
Wow.
I think my dad had one, but it only had 2, and he made it himself.
Mm-hmm. What's this? This little,
Yeah, right here.
whoops. Looks for grating or something.
What are you? Must be nut grater or something, or
Yeah.
stuff them people had. And we have no idea.
I'll see if I can find it.
It does say cheese cutter from the Swarthmore store. Okay.
A cheese cutter.
Doesn't look like no cheese cutter I've ever seen.
No.
I'd like to check it out.
It's upside down. Oh no. 0028 plus. Oh, these might have been what they had in their kit,
Yes.
soldiers. These cameras, look at these old ones, like they're so gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rush to Unity Photo Studio.
Yes.
That's good advertising.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Roll of Honor, Royal Canadian Legion for 1914 to 1918. Wow. Oh. And this,
I'm not even sure its life purpose.
that's kind of like the siren that goes off at noon every day. The first time I heard that, I've never heard that before. The siren that goes off at noon?
Yes.
Holy.
We've had that siren forever. For a few years it was quiet, and then the town people kicked up a ruckus. We need our siren back.
Oh,
Why?
gosh.
We just do.
Instruments. Yeah. And this.
Huh. These two go together. I'll bet you that was radio. This is the same name.
Oh, yeah.
I better not play with the dials, I might blow it up.
I doubt it. Oh. Goodness. There's the lights.
Oh, they're around the corner. I see them. On that wall there.
Oh, okay. There.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, you can take I'll give you a book before you leave.
Okay.
And then this had been added on. This is where the town held their meetings.
Okay.
This was the boardroom. And it was used right up to into the 70s.
Look at that old TV.
Yep. That apparently, if my story in my brain remembers me right, that was the first TV sold out of Scott, Saskatchewan.
Wow.
One of our members, he's quite the scrounger. He finds out the most interesting things.
Yeah.
It's not even that huge.
No.
But boy, when you had that, you thought you had the world.
No kidding. Yeah. So when were the first TVs around here? Like, do you remember when your family got a TV?
Yes. The one, I think it was about 1960.
Yeah.
We were the progressive family in the neighborhood. We had one. No, we didn't. The neighbor had one first.
Yeah.
Because we'd go over every once in a while, and Mom and actually they were my godparents, and we'd visit with them, and the news would come on. They'd want to turn it off and have lunch, and Dad would say, "No, leave it alone."
Leave the news. Yeah. CFQC.
Eh?
CFQC. Saskatoon.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. All the farmers watch the news.
Oh yes. Don't you dare turn it off when the weather comes on.
No.
They will throw you out the door.
Oh, an old pump organ.
Yes. We just acquired that this summer.
Oh.
I think it was in Scott Church.
Okay.
It apparently works.
Mm-hmm.
It's electric. It needs to be plugged in.
Mm.
But apparently works. So this winter we're going to have a go at it.
Mm-hmm.
One of our members plays piano, so we looked at her and said, "Well, you're it, girl."
And an old phone.
Yes.
A nice old phone.
We were talking about stuff like that, and a lot of people remember what their phone numbers were,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then we said about the party ring.
Yeah.
If you had something important to say, you just cranked her for a while, and everybody would come on. You'd say,
I know.
There's a shipment of raspberries at the Red Pheasant store, you know.
I know, the old party line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember our phone number from when I was a kid.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the area code 306.
Yeah.
And our number happened to be 33306.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I know.
Once we got the dial phone in, the number was still the same.
Oops.
But when we had, I remember this thing hanging on the wall in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And ours was 1 ring 2 4.
1 ring 2 4.
I think it was 2 long and 4 short. Man, you had to listen.
Yeah, 2 long, 2 short was ours. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. 1927. Yeah. Bank of Canada.
And from January on,
Yeah.
The whole calendar is there.
Wow.
We put floats in the Battleford Parade.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, and we actually won ribbons 2 of the years.
Nice.
And we were quite pleased.
Yeah.
They made a deal with us. One of the town folks worked for the town. He was really carpenterish. He made a replica of the water tower.
Mm-hmm.
And this building. And what else did he have? That was the only 2 we really used. We'd put them on a float.
Oh, gosh.
We'd decorate it and this and that. You'd have somebody riding with it and whatnot. And And so of course, John and I ended up taking the float and parking it wherever. And then they came around and gave us the ribbon.
The ribbon.
So I stuck it on there and I took a picture and I sent it to Phil and I says, look what we got.
Yeah. Yeah, the parades.
They're not as good as they were.
Yeah.
Well, they're running out of people.
Yeah. And the sense of community, like
Yes.
there isn't that as much of a need for it now.
No.
Wow, look at the snow.
Yes. Yeah, they didn't fool around. When they got snow, they got snow.
Yeah.
That building, it's gone now, of course, but that was called the Dell Hotel. It was a railroad hotel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's a hotel just across the back alley from us. It is now called the Wilkie Hotel,
Okay.
but it was originally called the Gladys.
The Gladys.
And it was moved in, it was a 3-story building and they took 1 story off and moved the rest to Wilkie. It came from Landis or Scott or something like this.
Wow.
Like I said, Phil is the one for the stories.
The Imperial Men's Store.
Yeah. It was owned by a family called Ellis, so it was Ellis Brothers.
This.
That was the Wilkie Hospital.
Okay.
And when they built the other hospital, they turned that into a nursing home.
Oh.
My grandmother had been in for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Stubborn old German lady, she wasn't at all impressed.
And here we have some pictures of some outfits. Look like.
Yeah, threshers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the arm to the threshing machine and the guys with all their hay racks full of stooks.
Yeah. And up here is, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's so much gone and so much added. I sometimes have trouble putting these buildings in a place.
Mm-hmm. Look at that prairie.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And here. Yeah.
That, I think, is a construction of the McClurg High School.
Wow. Yeah. And we've got some more over here. Another 1929 calendar.
Yep.
Oh. And some more houses.
This building
Yeah.
had been the Commerce.
Oh, that's the one, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell by the design.
It's just got the
Yeah.
bank feeling.
Yeah,
Of course, it had to be 2 stories because the manager lived upstairs.
that's right.
And I even know where this building is. These two are the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're by the Scott Cooley.
Mm.
This one I don't know. Some I've seen, some I haven't. Oh, this one, that was in Eaton's house.
Yeah.
He's down on the, I wish my brain would stay in track.
Well, tell me about it. I know exactly what you mean. And this is kind of, what is that? Right here.
I think that's just an old house.
Yeah. It kind of looks like an old schoolhouse,
House.
but they didn't have the upper windows.
Occasionally
did
they did. Yeah, they'd have a light up in the,
Oh,
something for
okay.
the attic.
Right.
But you know, you look at these houses, there's no power, there's no anything around it. They've been there a long time. Look how sturdy they are. The ones
Yeah.
we live in are
Yeah.
falling down.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, what I know about these, the Eaton houses and the Aladdin houses was that a lot of the timber came from BC and it was shipped out, and then
Yeah.
see, there goes my brain. Yeah. Yeah, and then it was milled.
Yes.
That's the word. In Ontario, and then shipped back out, like with the
Oh,
pieces.
good gosh.
The pieces all.
So they'd
all
ship
assembled.
the logs across the country, saw them up, get them ready, and ship them back to Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a lot of work.
Yeah. But
it kept the
train.
guys off the streets and out of the bars.
That's right. Wow. What's that photo? 1925. Wilkie High School.
Oh, yeah, okay. They had a lot of kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mind you, when each family had between 4 and 6 kids, it didn't take much
True.
to
True.
fill up a school.
Yeah.
A couple of years back, well, we're on the farm and we've got wood heat, you know, and generator for
Yeah.
the fridge and
Yeah.
run the fans and
Yeah.
whatnot. There was an accident. I know a guy hit a power pole or something and took down a good section of line. We were without power for 36 hours in the middle of winter. Couldn't run the school bus because we couldn't plug it in.
Right.
My cousin, about 2 miles away, phones over and he says, "Hi, how you doing?" He says, "How are you doing?" "Oh, all right. I'll bet you're watching TV." I says, "Yep." I says, "And I got hot coffee and a sandwich. You want one? Come on over." They were right there.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah.
And my cousin said, she says, "I finally figured this out." She says, "There's not much you can do in a house with one candle." She says, "No wonder those old timers had 15 kids."
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah.
Of course, this was the vault that the
Yeah.
town had used.
Yeah.
And we had, there was a lawyer in town by the name of Walter Bieber.
If I go in there, you won't lock me in.
No, I promise. I'll come in with you, then we're both in trouble.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And he's, of course, since passed away a number of years. But when he closed his law office down,
Yeah.
he donated all his law books to the
Oh.
library, or to the
Gosh.
museum.
Yeah. Look at all these, the law journal from all these years. Where does it start? It starts
Some of them are just ancient.
18. This one is 1836, so
Yeah.
it must start.
This one's 1846 or 48.
Wow. Yeah.
1849. How about you guys?
Yeah, the ones.
1855.
Wow.
Everybody says, "Oh, why would you want all those old books? Why would we not want them?"
Mm-hmm. Oh
there's-
my goodness.
One
Now,
of the, whatchamacallit, little events we had here, some of us got together and worked earlier, and one gal brought her 2 girls. They were
Yeah.
like 5 and 7 or something. Eh?
yeah.
"Well, can we read a book?" Have at her. Good luck.
Yeah.
And so they picked out one of these, and she's looking at it, and she says, "What does it say?"
Yeah. Wow.
"Okay, who are you?" "Oh, okay. No, not today."
Walter Bieber.
He was mayor for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He was very involved in the community.
Yeah. Wow. What's this notice here? The Law Society of Saskatchewan. The books in this library are the property of the Law Society of Saskatchewan. They're for the use of the judges, the members of the Law Society, and the courthouse officials. Wow. Also from 1925. Wow. Yeah, amazing.
So I'm quite taken with this room.
Mm-hmm.
And our summer employee, we never, when you have somebody that's still kind of new to the area and has no idea what we really are or do.
Yeah.
She kept closing the vault door, and we were having fits in case we could never get it open again.
Oh my gosh.
Leave it open, okay?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Look at these coats. RCMP coat, a winter coat. Wow.
If you're ever out in the summer,
Yeah.
come back and I'll set you down with a coffee and a cookie.
Okay.
And you can look
Okay.
at all the owls. This is one of my favorite things. I have to show this to everybody.
Okay.
This is the most amazing desk I have ever seen.
All right.
I wondered what this was too, and I finally said, so what's with this thing, eh?
Oh yeah. This little
Move. That's where the guy hid his typewriter.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Everybody
Wow.
says, what's your favorite thing in the museum?
That's
This.
it. Golly.
And the kids, they think this is the greatest because I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
And they think it's absolutely.
It's an old Remington, it looks like. Yeah.
And then they got to poke on it and bang on it. Be nice to it. It's old.
Yeah.
Do you want me to poke you like you're poking it? No.
Yeah. Wow.
And of course, you know.
That's fancy. Yep.
And we have a gavel.
Yeah.
And everybody says, oh, it has a chip.
Mm-hmm.
How did you chip it? I said, that's when the guy at the other end of the table isn't quiet and I. You wouldn't do that. Oh, yeah.
Now this typewriter over here is different again.
Yes.
Oh, the Oliver typewriter.
A lot of the stuff like was here when
Mhm.
I inherited the job. And I've never really dug into it.
Mm-hmm.
But that one is really different.
Yeah, look at how it's set up. Yeah. Oh, I'll have to look into that and see.
Yes.
There's Main Street early on. So how come in Wilkie, just to be different, Main Street is not Main Street?
No.
When did that
We have a
occur?
main street, but it
Yes.
goes up.
Yeah,
And everybody just calls that Main Street because that's where all the businesses are.
right.
And then when you talk about railway, it really louses people up. See Royal Cafe. Not even sure. I think that's looking that way. Meat market. Oh yeah, we had a meat market in town and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Wilkie was very much a going concern.
Yeah.
And well, being a railway town made a whole difference.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Wilkie and Adanac
Mm-hmm.
had actually changed names.
Really?
They wanted the main depot sort of thing to be Wilkie.
Yeah.
And Wilkie had started off down there. But then they found out that there was no water source there.
Yeah.
It was here at Adanac.
Oh.
So then they traded names.
Yeah.
And we became Wilkie with the water.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that Wilkie had really good water. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So how did this dictaphone work? Do you
I
know?
think there's another one. No, yeah, there's another one here. This one isn't complete anymore, I don't think. But you could talk into it,
Yeah.
and it would make a recording.
Oh, that's what this is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a dictaphone.
And then the secretary or whatever could play it back, and
Yeah.
that was a lot of work too.
Holy smokes.
You know, you don't realize. Basically, everybody thinks now with technology, it's the thing.
Yeah.
These people were extremely intelligent and talented.
Yeah.
Because some people
That's amazing.
can't listen to a conversation and take down notes at the same time.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm slowing down too. I'm always, excuse me, just wait a minute here. I'm about 3 sentences behind.
Golly, all these calendars.
Yes.
And you've got like a Victrola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one, I'm not sure where we had to move everything out of that building very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got one that takes the discs.
Oh, the cylinders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where it went.
These are so thick.
Oh, yes.
My dad had a collection of these.
Yep.
Yeah.
78s. And then you put a 33 on a 78 speed. Oh, that was fun.
Yeah. More calendars and Monroe-matic. Oh, okay. That's another accounting machine for doing ledgers, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. The most automation makes it the world's most fully automatic calculator.
You're digging, but you're not opening. That's fine. You can just stay close.
Wow. Oh, I love these old phones.
Yes.
Wow.
And now they make jokes on Facebook about all your information is in your phone now.
Yeah.
All your contacts, you go to Google or whatever, you can find anybody anytime.
Yeah.
If you were in the country, it just said farm.
Yeah.
Well, farm could be north, south, east, west, whatever.
Yeah. Wow. The Wilkie Museum.
Yeah.
Wow.
I felt bad they did it. It was before I even came on the board. They took the hedge of trees out. Because they said kids were hiding in them.
Yeah.
It made sense.
Oh, here's another company that made houses, the Monarch Lumber Company Limited.
Yeah.
I know that there was one called Aladdin as well.
Oh, okay.
And their designs were more Americanized, I would say. They were more arts and crafts style.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Monarch Lumber Company Limited. I think we should have more of those.
We should. We should. And now they're all building mansions. I think those tiny houses are the thing to have.
Yeah. Wow.
And this is the kind of just a map of the museum complex here. This is the building that's gone.
Okay.
It's just a big old flat space there now.
And there was a blacksmith.
Yeah. We still got that building.
Mm-hmm.
And,
what's the combine pad?
Okay, it's just a big cement.
Oh, okay.
There had been a garage there once upon a time.
Yeah.
I think that was Smith, Bell, and Badger. That's where my dad went for combine parts.
Yeah. Yeah. And the press office, that was its own building.
Yes.
Yeah.
The original press office. Okay, there was the Wilkie Press.
Mm-hmm.
And it had an old beat-up ramshackle building down in here someplace. Phil knows where it is. And then a fellow from Ontario came up, and he was going to show these hicks how to do it right. So he built a brand new building, state-of-the-art machinery.
Yeah.
But he didn't count on the loyalty of the local people.
Right.
Everybody stuck with the Wilkie Press and basically ran the poor man out of town.
Yeah.
And he finally went up to the guy that had the press, and he says, look, I can't do this. You want to buy my building? He says, I'll give it to you cheap. So he sold it to him lock, stock, and barrel.
Wow. Wow.
And so he put up his name, and it was the Wilkie Press, and there we were.
Yeah. Great. The ice house.
Yeah. The ice house is now a little house. It was converted in. It was originally an ice house.
Mm-hmm.
But they turned it into like a bachelor's house kind of thing, small
Okay.
family residence. And
Yeah.
it's got the stoves and the beds and
Oh, okay.
everything. We can go through. I'm afraid I'm on a timeline. I've got the school bus
That's
today.
quite all right. Yeah.
Because
The caboose, that's the one that's across the street?
yep,
Yeah. Okay.
it got a facelift last year, so.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I forgot about all the trains around here.
oh my gosh, yes.
Ah, I know. They kept me up last night.
Oh, especially when you're that 3 minutes late and he's across the track
Yeah.
and he's dawdling.
Ah.
Hurry, please. Then he stops. And you're like, no.
Oh, gosh. Well, Laura, thank you so much. I just want to kind of get a image of these.
I've got a half hour yet. I'll take you over to the other building.
Okay.
We have, that's where our fire truck is. And another one of our pride and joy pieces. It's a 1929 Model A.